Yo, Asti Productions, Peter Alex Gale here, of course, as always. And I just wanted to take a little breather, check in with y'all, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, fam, and give you guys my experience at South by Southwest, Austin, Texas, 2026. And just like what I learned as a filmmaker, as a social media person, content creator, influencer, all the above, and what maybe you can expect if you are in your all of those things and you haven't been and you're thinking about going. So basically, come with the plan. Come with the plan, use the app, be ready and map it out. The entirety of the event takes place all around downtown Austin, so you will be walking and you will be sweating. But know where the hotels are, know where the sessions are, know where the restaurants and the bars and everything else is. It'll save you a lot of time. And you'll just be able to navigate easier and get the best use of your time. In terms of the substantive value of it, I think that depends on what level you're at, what you're looking for. Do you want advice? Do you want actual help or support or something concrete material for your project? All of that is gonna determine the type of experience you have. I've talked to a lot of people here at all different levels in many different disciplines. So actors, writers, directors, filmmakers, musicians, composers, lawyers, everybody. And some people are here on the company dime, some people are here on their own dime, some people are just seeing what's up. A lot of people actually volunteer or work it to meet people and get connections, so that could be an option for you if you don't want to buy a badge, because the badges are not cheap. But, so for example, if you are just starting out, maybe you have an idea, maybe you have or haven't started writing, or you barely started writing, they will tell you, some people will tell you that you need to be way deeper into your development to get any sort of help or production or a company to work with you, if that's what you want. Other people may be interested in your idea and they might swoop you up and kind of adopt you and take you under their wing early in the game, although that is extremely unlikely. But I would say, yeah, so it just depends on that, and also maybe you want to do some background research into who you want to talk to and who you're meeting, and as you're meeting people, kind of ask about them and everything, and what do they do, and if they maybe pitch your stuff if you think it's somebody in your lane. There definitely is, one of the reasons why I started this podcast is because, by the way, follow, subscribe, like, comment, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, upscrolled at Asti Productions on everything. Okay, got that out the way. And our link tree is in the description or wherever you're watching this. Anyway, I will say one of the reasons why I started this podcast is, the film industry specifically, because I am a filmmaker, I have been told is gatekeepy, secretive, and if you know, or it depends on who you know, type of thing. And I have definitely experienced some of that. It's, look, I get it, because it's everybody worked hard to get where they are. They don't want to just let anyone in. But, it maybe should be a little more democratized and accessible, because there's a lot of good ideas out there and a lot of stuff being made. Listen, you might be on Netflix for an hour and some change before you decide on if you do want to see something, but before you know it, you're already over it and you're sleeping because nothing piqued your interest. So, and that's because the reason for that is because a lot of good ideas get passed over or are never heard about because the industry is gatekeeping, which is a shame. So, work on your ideas for real. That's going to be everything. That's going to be critical, or at least it's the most important starting point. Make sure you have some interesting or funny or entertaining or just something that grips the audience. Someone told me today, they need a hook within the first, if you can't see I'm doing this, I'm doing gestures. You need a hook within the first, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or the person will just give up. And this was a person who is somewhat high up. And so they didn't like a lot of movies, big ones that you probably liked, because they said they weren't hooked by it. But then again, if the movies are big and they didn't like it, I don't know, does that reflect on their judgment? I don't know. You decide. But, so yeah, your story's got to be enticing in some way, interesting, and hook people. But you already know that. But I'm just telling you because you're not wrong. I'm confirming your suspicions. You are seeing this through me. That's one of the intentions of the channel. I'm taking you guys places, sharing the experience with you guys, and letting you know what you can expect. And this is the South by one of that. But yeah, so yeah, that's one of the reasons I started the podcast. And but overall, I would say, listen, it's not over yet either. But I definitely have made a lot of good connections. I've met a lot of people, and meeting people, especially creative people, especially people who literally have your exact same job or your ambitions, or people who are where you want to be in a year or 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever, is invaluable. It is inspiring. It is, you need that. You need that to keep going and to affirm that you're on the right path. And I've gotten a lot of that as well. So it's a mixed bag for sure, like everything else in life, but is it worth it? Like I said, it depends where you are, what your plan is, but if you do plan, and if you kind of already have your long-term plan in terms of what your project is going to be, whether it be movies or film or TV or whatever, art, even painting. If you already have your plan, your immediate and long-term goals and midterm goals, don't sleep on midterm goals. I'm talking, 6 months to a year and a half, because those can be critical. You know what I'm saying? Like, centuries happen in weeks, you feel me? So imagine what could happen in a year, right? So, yeah, plan your project. Try not to be dependent. You want to be as independent as possible. I don't mean independent like indie movie. I mean independent meaning if you get 1,000 no's, it won't break you, because you don't need any yeses. You can do it by yourself if necessary. Not to say you should go into it with that, or not to say that's like your only option, but as a last resort, or even just have a plan B or C or wherever you land. Know that that's possible for you, because, there's going to be some no's. There's going to be a few no's, okay? Like any industry, right? And, you are asking a lot. You're asking somebody to invest in you, your idea, your ability, and to execute. And a lot of, depending on if you're a filmmaker or whatever, but if you're looking for funding, if you're looking for investing for anything, any form of art, ROI is maybe not what it used to be, return on investment. And people who invest into your thing are looking for ROI, right? As anyone would be. So, know the financial aspect of it as best as you can. I know not everybody is into business, but you got to be somewhat to sell your stuff if that's what you're trying to do. And just have your plan B, your independent plan, your collaboration plan, if that's an option for you, if you think that's going to be an option for you, meaning if you are expecting partners, if you're expecting companies to get in on your project and invest in you, definitely plan for that and have a pitch and be ready to talk about it in detail and how they're going to get their money back from investing into your project. But yeah, and listen, I'm in a beautiful hotel right now, just reflecting. It's hot. The brain juices are boiling. Listen, maybe that's it, but I just felt really introspective right now. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of the behind the scenes look. It's a quiet period. This is 6 days. 6, and carry 3, 17 times 4, 6. So, right? 7, 6, March, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't know. It's like a week. But the point is, it's a long thing. So, like, you're going to be outside a lot. You're going to be, like I said, walking. You're going to be meeting people, talking to people. And it's hard to, network and drink if you do that, and be out late, and also wake up early, and also, pitch your movie, and also talk about financing and investing, and just it's just many hats must be worn. So come alone. If you do come alone, look, my heart goes out to you. It's going to be a rough week for you. But if you have a partner, if you have somebody that can help you, definitely bring them along for the ride. Take some of the stress off yourself. Listen, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. So just closing thoughts. Be prepared, have a plan, and prep. Prep your body, prep your mind, prep your project. Be ready to talk to people, practice talking to people, talk to yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Listen, all my writers out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because when we're writing, we're writing a conversation. So it's like everybody thinks you're crazy, you're talking to yourself, but nah, you actually, this is how you write. This is how you work through it. You have to simulate a conversation out loud because it's like, well, how do people talk? Well, I have to talk to know. So yeah, do all that stuff and just be positive, be friendly, and be open to talking to people, whoever, because you never know who's who, and you never know what anybody is interested in, or how they could affect your project, thing, artistic endeavor, whatever you call it. But yeah, South by Southwest 2026, Austin, Texas. I love Austin, Texas. I love Matthew McConaughey. Shout out to Matthew McConaughey. You know what I'm saying? Listen, next Hollywood type stuff. Listen, big things happening. Asti Productions is happening. Asti Productions on all social media. Y'all gotta follow. I'm giving interviews, man. I'm out here. I'm working for y'all. So if you mess with the content, if you're getting anything out of this, if you're entertained, if it helped you in any way, support the boy. Leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Follow everything. But y'all know the spiel. Free Alex Gale. South by Southwest, Austin, Texas. I'm out.